Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. This is episode 2 of the Travis Blaze Show with your host, none other than myself, yours truly, Travis Blaze. And today, we're going to talk about, it's called Storytime for a reason. If you haven't noticed, we actually have an introduction now, thanks to my man, Mike Santucci, General Santucci first. He's got the Monster Mike channel where he reviews energy drinks, and I happen to be in one of those videos over there too. Check it out. We tear down Arizona's Joe DiMaggio espresso. It's so horrible, but that's besides the point. Today is called story time for a reason. Like, I like to share stories throughout my life, and today is going to be sharing a lot of stories about somebody near dear to my heart. It's more of like a memorial towards this person and just a remembrance, because I've written things that people read, but it doesn't really seem as intimate as a video would be, because there's just not words that can describe how awesome this person was. He was pretty much the embodiment of what a human being should strive to be. Generous, caring, always looking to stand up for the weak, the poor. Well, not the poor per se, but somebody who was just a champion of all men. He would defend people with mental disabilities, defects. He'd befriend everybody. And me being a social outcast that I am and was at the time, he always made you feel included. He never excluded you from things. He always included you in whatever it was. He would just hang out with you, bullshit with you, just do a lot of things. And this person is none other than my cousin Danny, who tragically passed away on January 30th, 2012, after lying in a hospital for 9 days from complications of a coma that he suffered in a collision with a tractor trailer out on the Pennsylvania Turnpike near a small town called Paoli. That was really not expected. The worst thing about it was he was actually on his way to a funeral for his friend Jordan, who had died from cancer just recently that week, and it's pretty fucked up, the situation and the circumstances behind it. Like, you would never think like something like that would happen to somebody you really love and just care about. And I'm not saying all these things about him just because of my cousin. Everybody who knew him would stand up and tell you that he was probably the best friend like you could have ever possibly had in your life. That's how much he meant to everybody, including me, my brother Adam. We actually had a group that, we had a name that was bestowed upon us by our uncle, my uncle, his father, my Uncle Ray, great guy, awesome. He called us the Tres Ossified Amigos, which translates to 3 drunk friends. And if you already know about me, back in those days, from like 20, even before then, probably from like 19 to, I'm 26 now. I guess I really just stopped going ham about, right after he died. Like, I just didn't think drinking would actually be any fun anymore without him around. Like, I didn't drink that much to begin with. I did drink and Marine Corps friends, but there was nothing like going and hanging out with this guy Danny, drinking with him and my brother. There's so many crazy stories, and I'll probably get to those here shortly, but I'm just trying to just paint a picture of what kind of person he actually was. And this is hard to like really just put into words how awesome this guy was. And I don't know if you guys can see this right here, but that's me and my cousin. I know there's some glare, but it's me and my cousin when I graduated boot camp back in July of 2007. He took the trip down from college in Pennsylvania, where he was going at the time. He was a wrestler in college. It was the off season, obviously. He was his sophomore year or was his freshman year? I think it was like right after his sophomore year, but I'm not really sure because he spent so much time in school. Because as awesome as he was, he'd just rather have a good time than actually like devote himself to like school, if that makes any sense. Like he eventually got through and graduated, and my aunt and uncle received his diploma last year in June after he finally graduated. And he wrestled in college. He wrestled throughout high school. He set records over here in Bergen County, where I live, up here in North Jersey. But a lot of people just knew him as a wrestler, and they, like a lot of people, who showed up to the wake, it was all over the news, just highly publicized his death, because what happened was just a stroke of luck for somebody else. It was bad luck for us, but it was a stroke of luck for somebody else, because he made it well known that he wanted his organs to be all donated in the event of his death. And through some kind of stroke of just weird how life works out sometimes. His little league baseball coach actually got his liver, so it's like only like something when it comes to organ donations. I don't know the exact numbers, but it's very rare that a person a family knows gets one of those person's organs. So that was pretty awesome. That's the kind of guy he was. Like, I wasn't shocked to know that he was gonna donate all his organs. And I mean, it's just really, like I said before, it's just really just kind of hard to put into words how awesome this guy was. I got him like, you can't really see that right there. I'll try to. Well, there it goes. I mean, you can't really see it, but it's a tattoo. I got for him on my forearm after his death. I just never would have thought. Just never would have thought that something this tragic would have happened to somebody like I really care about. Like, I really cared for, still care about, still think about every day. In my car, there's a picture of him on my dash next to his weight card. I constantly play like songs he listened to all the time when I drive in my car, and I do the whole like Roger Clemens to the Babe thing with the picture, like, and I touch it before I start driving, and just things I do, just it's really weird now. Still have lots of memories, all the times we spent together, but it's still really just hard and difficult, even though it was almost happened in January 30th. Well, really, like, he was in the hospital for 9 days, so the 21st is when the accident occurred. So, it's just really like almost a year and a half ago, and I still find it hard to. I still, it's just not easy trying to get over something that tragic. And I'm pretty sure I won't ever be over it, because that dude, That was us, bro. We were tight. Bros, girls, who's ever watching this video. And, you probably want to hear some crazy stories I like to share, but I'm just trying to put in, just trying to remember the guy, as a person first before I share stories. His memories, like, after somebody's departed from this world, the only thing you have left of that person is pictures, memories, things. And, he's just it's hard to say. It's just weird. It's weird that he's gone. Like, everybody I know misses him all the time. Everybody I know. Everybody. Just so tragic. 24 years old, you never expect anything like that to happen to somebody you care about. I'm sure there might be people out there watching this video. We've experienced loss too, and that's why I originally made this channel. And it's what I continue to do with it. Just reach out to people who might be stuck in shitty situations, had bad shit happen to them, and that's me. That's me. I just want to reach out to as many people as I can, and try to connect with people on a more personal level. Because I noticed there's a lot of fake fucking people out there in YouTube channels that don't want to tell the truth, and they get YouTube money for playing characters and just being idiots. And nah, I don't play a character. Travis Blaze is just a name. Travis Blaze is not really a character. It's just me, actually. More hyped up version of me. This is me in real life all the time. But going back to my cuz, where do I begin? Like, we weren't really close at a young age. We were, but me bouncing around a lot with like no stability, and when I lived at the treatment center, if you watch my other video, you know what I'm talking about. Every weekend I would go stay with my aunt up here in Bergen County. She lives a couple blocks away from me now, but at the time, high school was probably when me and Dan really started to get close. And believe this shit, I was a virgin till I was 21. But Dan always looked out for me. He was always trying to get me laid, believe it or not. Always. I remember one time we took these two girls to the cheerleading, like the New Jersey cheerleading competition over at Fairleigh Dickinson University in Hackensack, and then we went back to his house, and I really thought I was gonna smash that night. I really did. Nope. I bombed. I was such a fucking socially awkward person back when I was like 16, 17. And that's when really me and my cousin really started to get close. And there was other times. There's other times when it's just like, I remember that one. That one was great. And there was other stuff too. He used to take me to all of his friends' parties, and people over here, I went to his wake, and it's like, oh, we remember you. You used to come up every weekend, and used to party with Dan all the time. I was at the wake, like, these two girls I haven't seen in forever. I became known as Dan Glover's cousin. Nobody knew my name. They didn't know I was Travis. They knew me as Dan Glover's cousin up here. This is pretty funny, actually. Like, just him being a wrestler, a football player, and a baseball player, he knew a lot of people. And in every way, you talk to somebody, and he touched them in so many different ways. Like, people who used to be bullied, and he would stick up for them. My brother and him were really close too, and I'm close with my brother. He's over in Afghanistan. What's up, Adam? Give them Hajis the boot, bro. Blow up 167 Afghanistan Boulevard. And my brother was really close with him too. And I heard stories about the time when I was living over in Clifton. If you watch my other video, you know, it's Peruvian foster family that I lived with. My brother lived with my aunt and Dan and his sister Kristen at the time, and there's heard mad funny stories about that. My uncle would tell me when my brother lived over there. This is a funny one too. Like when like grade school, right? Adam was suspended for fighting with this one kid, and my uncle didn't tell him. My uncle didn't tell Dan. He never told him for like 12 years, like 10 years he didn't tell him. My brother was suspended, but so my brother was suspended for like for 3 days, and 3 days in a row my uncle would just tell him, mind your business, Dan, mind your business, Adam's sick, he doesn't have to go to school today, he's sick. So, but he was actually suspended. So the kid, like my brother wouldn't fight anybody because he didn't want to get kicked out of my aunt's house and have to go back to the foster system. And I don't blame him, because foster families are just, you know, it's not like your real family. I mean, yeah, they're nice enough to take you in, but more often than not, like, they just take you in for monetary reasons. They don't actually give a flying rat's ass because they get more money from the state, and they can provide better for their actual kids. They don't really give a fuck about you. But so that was a funny story. My brother got suspended, and my uncle wouldn't tell Dan, or, you know, he finally found out. He was like, "Why'd you lie to me for like 10 years?" But here's another good story between my brother and my cousin that I never heard about. So, like I said, Adam wouldn't fight anybody because he didn't want to go back to the foster care system. He just wanted to live at my aunt's house, and I don't blame him. My aunt's a great lady. My uncle's a good dude too. And this kid would fuck with Adam on a routine basis, and he couldn't fight him because he didn't want to go back to the foster care system, like I said. But Dan's like, fuck that, no one's fucking with my cousin. Dan fucked this dude up. He whooped his fucking ass. It's like middle school. It was like 6th, 7th grade, I guess he was in at the time. He fucked him up for fucking with Adam. And that's the kind of dude he was. He always stood up for people. He wasn't always the biggest dog in the fight, but that kid sure had fucking heart, man. And like I said, like in my other video, like I used to fight a lot, and one person I didn't really want to fuck with was my cousin, even though he wasn't the biggest dude in the fight. I mean, he was like 5'8", 140. He usually ranged from like 140 to like 150, 160 maybe, tops. But that dude was just an exceptional wrestler, like just really good. Like I said, owns multiple records here in Bergen County. They've been broken since, but when he did it, there was like less matches, and it's just easier to break wins records now. But there's just so many stories like I could share. Those are just a couple of them. And me being a fucking hothead, right? Like, I always got into trouble with bars. Trouble in bars all the time. Like, getting thrown out or whatever. Starting fights. Well, I didn't really start fights. People would run their fucking mouth and I would just finish them. But Dan was always there to calm me down, believe it or not. He talked me out of so much shit that I would have done that probably would have got me locked up. He once saved my ass from getting kicked out of the bar one night. Because we got so drunk, and I took a shot at Jameson. And before that, I ate something raunchy, and I drank so much, and I'm trying to make it to the bathroom. And as I'm proceeding to the bathroom, I fucking yak everywhere. Dan's like, oh, don't kick him out. I'll get him out of here in a few minutes. This dude was so fucking pissed at me. He wound up cleaning my yak and saved me from getting kicked out of the bar, possibly banned. And that's the kind of things he did for people. Like, he could persuade anybody to do anything, really. He could talk you into stuff. He could talk you out of stuff. He just had to give the gab that was impressive. And just a lovable all-around dude. You know, the next, Trace Ossified Amigos will still always be the Trace Ossified Amigos, me, Adam, Dan. He'll always be there in spirit, kicking back a few with us. When Adam gets back from Afghanistan, I fully anticipate the first stop is going to be right down the street. That's another funny story, actually. I'll get to that in a second. Right down the street thing. We'll be right down the street at the bar. Anyways, the right down the street thing is something I say. It doesn't really matter in in relation to distance where you are. I always say you could be on the other side of the world. I say, oh, you're right down the street. So Dan moved to Hershey and he started working at a brewery called Trogs, and he lived in an apartment over there. And one day, it was 2011, summer of 2011. We're gonna go see him. Me and my aunt, my uncle, and his girlfriend at the time, and her family, and we're gonna go to Hershey Park. So we're driving through, and he calls. He's like, "Oh, you guys been on the road forever. Where are you?" And not really knowing Hershey too well. Not really knowing Hershey too well, I thought we were relatively close to where he lived. In fact, we were about 4 miles away, and I told him we were right down the street. So he waited outside for like 20 minutes, and when I got there, it's like, you told me you were right down the fucking street. I was like, that's just an expression I use. It doesn't mean we were really like right down the street, which we weren't. I thought we were, but we really weren't. He was fucking pissed at me for that for a little bit. He got over it though, and yeah, it's just funny. It's funny things, and he always wanted to do a lot of different things. He tried brewing beer once, came out bad, but he actually worked at a brewery, so he enjoyed doing it. The guy had so many jobs, and any job he ever held was the best job he ever had. He was a valet. He said that was the best job he ever had. He was a trash man. He said it was the best job he ever had. Just so many different jobs he had. He was a substitute teacher for a while, wrestling coach. Wore many different hats. And there's kids out there on the wrestling team who still who are in college now that still say they owe a lot to him because of what he taught them. And the guy was just a student of the sport, really. He wasn't, I mean, he was a great wrestler, but I don't think it was because of athleticism. It's just because the guy was smart. He was athletic, don't get me wrong, but he wasn't athletic as a lot of other people. He was just really just a student of it. Just really smart. Like, knew everything. Just knew when to shoot, when to sprawl, when to throw this kind of hold here, when to do this, when to do that. He just knew, like, everything. Like, timing was perfect. Just exceptional wrestler. That's what most people remember him for. But I just remember him being an awesome dude, being my cousin, just being like the best person one of the best people I've known, if not the best person I've known throughout my entire life. And it's the priest, the father, proceeded over the funeral and the wake and the viewings and whatnot. He said it the best. Well, I'm trying to remember exactly what he said, but something along the lines like that. That Dan was an angel, and that his work here on Earth had been done. He already touched enough people, and it was time for him to go into the everlasting arms. I'm probably off on that, but he said something to that extent, and I never used to believe in like a god or anything like that. I was just like an atheist. But recently, like, I believe in a higher power, regardless of what it is. I'm not sure what it is, but I do believe in a higher power. And when the father said that, I kind of resonated with it. It made sense. It kind of it helped a little. Did it help like enough? No, because I'm still not really over it. I still like wake up and I just think about him every day. Like, what the fuck would we do today if he was here? What kind of crazy shit would we get our asses into? Probably nothing. So I'm fucking about to be 27. I'm done doing stupid shit for the most part, regardless of acting like an asshole in like other videos that General Santucci's hosting, like, you know, Monster Mike. But for the most part, when he said that, I think it helped. It helped enough. It resonated with me. It really did. The father put a lot of things into perspective. A lot of things with that one statement. Because I know, for one, I wouldn't have met a lot of different people if it wasn't for Dan. I have 288 friends on Facebook. I want to say at least 107 of them are probably because of Dan, if not more. The dude had 1,000 on his Facebook, and he talked to every single one of them. When I'm telling you, it was a mob scene at his wake and funeral. I'm not lying. ABC covered it. Fox covered it. Fox was real disrespectful though, because they actually showed like in the room and people trying to pay their respects. So Fox, you fucking suck. Fuck you. Go suck a dick. But there was over like 600 people at his funeral. I'm just guessing. I'm not really sure. There were so many people. I've never seen so many people in one place in my life, other than like a Yankees game or a Devils game or a sporting event or the Miramar Air Show. All these people came out to pay their respects, and that was unbelievable. That was unbelievable. Absolutely unbelievable. How many people he touched. If I touch one person in my life, if I reach through to one person and I've said something, or if I've done something to change your life, I'll feel honored. But for him to touch those many people, is just, words can't describe it. Words can't describe it. It's insane. It really is. It's insane. It's not insane, but you know what I'm saying. It's actually more so unbelievable that a 24-year-old kid from Jersey could touch so many people in just only 24 years of life. And I'm glad that I was actually ever related to him, you know? He brought out the best in me. Helped me to be a better person. He did. Just by watching the way he carried himself with confidence and everything else. And the way he treated people helped me to be a better person, a slightly better person, because I'm still kind of a fucked up kid. I always will be. If you watch my other video, you know the way I explained everything and the way I went into details. But just some of his good, like, decency, human decency to people just rubbed off on me. I just can't believe he's gone, you know? I just don't believe it sometimes. I wake up, I don't believe it. I woke up today with the thought that I would make this video. And I just didn't believe it. I don't believe I'd be making a video, you know? It's just a shame that it happened. What can you do? You know, you have no control over things. Life just plays out this way. Life plays out just fucked up for a lot of people. And like I said before, that's what this channel is probably just going to be really about. Me sharing my life, trying to help somebody else out there, because I've been through a lot of shit, and this is one event that really has shaped my life in the past couple of years. Past year and a half, actually. And I mean, I hope I did him justice by making this video. I mean, there's just so many more stories. I could probably make a 20-hour, a day-long video about every like moment that him and I like shared together. And I'll probably just share a couple more of them. Most that stand out in my mind is December 4th, 2007. High Point Solution Stadium, New Brunswick, New Jersey. Rutgers, Louisville. He helped pitch in and buy the tickets, and we drove to the stadium. We found decent parking. Was it 2007? I think it might have been 2008. I'm going to have to look it up, but I remember the final score of the game. It was 63 Rutgers, Louisville 14. It was Mike Teal's final game in a Rutgers uniform, other than the bowl game that year. It was the final home game. It was Seniors Day. They fucking smacked Louisville around. We had a great time. We snuck into the student section. Yeah, we snuck into the student section. A lot of people had already left, but I'm a diehard Rutgers fan, and you know he really liked live events too. He really liked live football games, and we were gonna stick it out to the end. That was a great time, 63-14, and that was a fun day that day. It was just me and him, you know, and was another one, Starland Summer Camp Out, right after I graduated boot camp. Or was it the year before? Oh, yeah, I got my dates mixed up. It was the year before. It was 2006. It was, we drove out to Allentown, Pennsylvania. Croc Rock. If you ever been there, I mean, it's not a great venue. They oversold the place, and it was a Real Big Fish show. Real Big Fish Streetland Manifesto. We got separated. I found a pit, and then I was smashing. I was just moshing and skanking and just punching little kids in the face because I'm a dick, you know. He got bounced all the way to the front. He got bounced all the way to the front somehow. So he was right in front of Aaron Barrett's mic. And at the end of the show, I finally meet back up with him. And he holds up a drumstick. I was like, "Where'd you get that?" He was like, "Oh, it was the drummer for Real Big Fish." I was like, "Oh shit." He's like, "Here, have it." I was like, "Really? You got it. You caught it. You keep it." He's like, "No. I went with you. You wanted to have a good time. I mean, it's not really my scene. You know, this is what you've been doing. You like ska shows. You keep it. So he gave it to me. That was pretty cool. On the way back, he became the first person I ever told that I was questioning my sexuality at the time. And that's another part of my life that this is a really weird time. And he didn't judge me. He just said, that's cool. Just let it go. I never really brought it up again. Just really accepting of everybody. And just kinds of things he did for people, you know, just being real cool about things. And there's just so many stories about how awesome this dude is. I remember one night we went to Hoboken. We went to the Green Rock, and this dude was a Mac. He was a G. He started talking to this one girl, and like I said, he was always trying to get me laid. It was 2009, 2008. Not sure at the time. He was always trying to get me laid, but so he starts macking with this one girl. He has no intention of cheating on his girlfriend. He's just doing it to hook me up. So he starts talking to her, and they call her friend over. Her friend starts dancing with me. We make out, and she really wants to come home with me. And then she's like, I can't because I took the train, blah, 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 blah. But that all happened because of Dan. Because I wasn't going to talk to her. I was shy. I didn't want to. I was scared, actually. But it all happened because of him. So after she left, more crazy shit happened. My brother was there too, and he decides to sprint through the fucking bar after it closes, pushing people out the way. And this one guy gets real fucking testy. He jumps in my face. He starts talking a whole bunch of shit, and we're getting ready to leave. I was like, whatever, dude, just let it go. It's over with. So I don't say anything to him. So we leave the bar. We get ready to walk to the car. This fucking dude swings on me. He swings on me. I slip his punch, and I have the upper hand. And we're fighting around in trash cans and knocking him over. And from what I gather is Dan slugged him a few times in the face. And that was the end of it. Like, he just sent a message like, don't fuck with me or my family. He just sent a message to him. Because initially what happened was, like, my brother was just an asshole. He just ran through him, and this guy was talking shit, and then he got into my face, and then it was over with. Then we went outside, and then he swings on me, and it's fucking stupid, but that's the type of shit I did back then. You push me, I might try to do the same kind of shit nowadays. And then there's just more stories and more moments, and it's just really difficult to deal with this kind of shit. It's really difficult just waking up and just knowing, like, before, if you wanted great advice and you just wanted to bullshit, it was always a phone call away or an instant message away or whatever. And I remember the last time I ever talked to him was through a text message. The Niners just beat the Saints, and one of the greatest playoff games ever. Because we're all Niners fans. My brother Adam, he was a Niners fan. My cousin Dan, he was a Niners fan. I'm a Niners fan now. Vernon Davis caught the post pass from Alex Smith, and that was the end of the game. And next week it was going to be the Giants, and he was going to come through. We were going to watch the game. But before that could happen is when the accident happened. And I remember right before, it's like right before the game, was like maybe 2 or 3 days after the Saints game, and then they found out that they were going to play the Giants. I sent them a text message like, yeah, man, fucking Niners are going to own these guys or whatever. And he messaged back, let's go to the Super Bowl. I was like, what? Niners make it. We're driving to Indianapolis. We're going to the Super Bowl. I was like, yeah, I'm in, dude. I'm fucking in. And it was like the last thing we ever said to each other. Because before I know it, like a couple days later, my aunt calls our house and says, "Oh, Dan's been in an accident. He's in a hospital. They say he's in a coma." I'm like, fuck. I don't believe it. I just don't fucking believe it. And it was the last time I saw him was Christmas of 2011. That's another funny thing. We watched the Christmas special of Family Guy with the elves who are like what's the word I'm looking for? Inbred and like addicted to crack, and we smoked a little bit, and it was a pretty fun time. And that was the last time I ever saw him. So, I think on that note, I'm probably going to conclude this episode. Thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. I'll probably share more my life experiences. Maybe I'll do different things. Review things, Not like an angry video game or angry video game nerd or nostalgia critic type deal. Just review things in general and just give my thoughts amongst other things. And thanks, appreciate it. Gone but not forgotten. This video is was made in remembrance of Dan Glover. Keep strong, kid. We miss you every day. Can't wait to see you again when we go to the everlasting arms. And hope we don't hear Marley's chains we forge in life.